Good evening and a warm welcome. The poll bugle has been sounded. The war cries in battle in Gujarat are ringing out loud. But there's one question everyone wants an answer to. Can Narendra Modi win a third time? Can he secure Gujarat for the BJP till 2017? Or is there an undercurrent against Narendra Modi? He's got a lot of anti-incumbency to take on. Is there an anti-undercurrent against him? Headlines today gets you the first opinion poll on the Gujarat elections a day after poll dates were announced. This is a C-voter poll. The sample size is 80,263 respondents across 182 assembly sections. The entire exercise lasted a month from the 1st to the 30th of September. Tonight, we get you the answers to all the questions that have been in the air around the Gujarat polls. Let's get started. I want to introduce our guests for this show. We've got Veer Sanghvi, one of India's best known political analysts, joining us on this broadcast. Also with us for this special discussion is Dr. Sanjay Kumar, one of India's best known cephalogists. Headlines today is Number Cruncher. We've got GVR Narasimha Rao, a well-known cephalogist himself, here in his capacity as a member of the BJP. And we'll also be going across to the United States, where Yashwant Deshmukh from C-Voter, whose team has done this poll, will be joining us in just a moment. Here are all our guests. Welcome to all of you. We'll get started in just a moment. Let's just take the results. And before I bring out the results of this opinion poll, we want to give our viewers a sense of what the numbers really look like in Gujarat at this time. So what does it look like in Gujarat at this time? You've got the BJP at 117, the Congress at 59, the NCP at 3, others at 3. There are a total of 182 seats in Gujarat. That's the current Gujarat Assembly situation. Let's now take a look at what the predictions are. This is the C-Voter prediction for Gujarat, where they're saying that the BJP will end up with 114 seats, the Congress with 63, the GPP with 2, others with 3. So the big story coming out of the C-Voter opinion poll is that Modi is set to win his biggest test, but it's not quite that easy. There are lots of wheels within these wheels which we'll be chatting about, but 114 seats to the BJP, that is what Yashwant Deshmukh and his team at C-Voter are predicting. Out of 182 seats, 114. So how does this compare with what happened the last time? Here it is. The BJP, which won 117 seats the last time, now projected to pick up 114. That's a dip of about 3 seats. The Congress, which picked up 59 seats in the 2007 polls, now expected to pick up 63. So they're gaining by just 4. It looks as if things are static, but that would be too simplistic a reading. The situation on the ground is far more complex. Let's take a look at the vote percentages. We'll start with the BJP, which picked up 50% of the vote in 2007, which was a remarkably good performance by Narendra Modi. That now coming down 3% to about 47. The Congress, from its 2007 figure of 38, picking up just 1 more percent of the vote, coming up to about 39. That's as far as the vote percentages are concerned. I want to first go across to Veer Sanghvi and get his sense of the numbers. On the surface, it would seem, Mr. Sanghvi, that not much has changed. But for Narendra Modi to win a third time is a big deal. But he was expecting to win by a far bigger margin. How would Narendra Modi and the BJP be looking at the numbers that C-Voter is putting out?
I think the idea that Narendra Modi is going to win a much bigger victory was an illusion. The fact that he's won for a third time is pretty significant in itself. And whether Narendra Modi actually expected to do much better or whether that was just big talk will remain a matter of some speculation. The important thing is the Congress has been saying voter fatigue has set in, there's anti-incumbency, Modi will do badly in Gujarat, and that will dent his prospects in the prime ministerial race. If these results hold up, that's not actually true. Modi is as strong a candidate as he was ever before.
Dr. Kumar, the Congress has been hoping that there is an underlying undercurrent of anti-incumbency, that people don't say it, but they're actually unhappy with Narendra Modi. These figures seem to indicate the contrary, that despite Keshbhai Patel floating his own party, he's been impacted. He's not winning by a massive landslide, but Narendra Modi is still holding firm.
I am not surprised by these results which the polls are showing, because BJP is still very strong. I know Keshubhai Patel moving out of the BJP would dent a little bit to the BJP, but not to the extent as he might think or as Congress might expect. He would have some presence in the Saurashtra region, but it would be constituency specific. It's not going to be kind of an his impact is not going to be all over the state. So I am not surprised. I would expect results to be more or less on the line as polls suggest.
GVL, the BJP was hoping that Narendra Modi would win by a massive landslide, that the people of Gujarat would show that they really want to send Narendra Modi from Ahmedabad to Delhi and they would give him that sort of a thumping majority. If the figures end up at about 114, would Narendra Modi and the BJP be disappointed, or would you take this sort of a result?
I think even this would be a phenomenal performance for a chief minister who has been in office for almost 3 terms. He's been CM continuously for 11 long years. But as someone who has been tracking Gujarat very closely, I think I have been polling in Gujarat for the past 6 months continuously. And at this point of time, we are confident. I think we are likely to surpass the best tally ever. I think we are looking at anything above 130. So that's the kind of a tally that we are looking at. And all this based not on any wishful thinking, but completely based on grassroots and ground level feedback. About a couple of months ago, when there was a lot of expectation about the kind of damage that Keshubhai Patel's party can do, but all these expectations have been proved to be wrong, because even the caste voters the caste to which Mr. Keshubhai Patel belongs, even I think Mr. Modi does not get support from any single caste. I think his popularity surpasses all castes, and he gets a majority vote from across all castes, save a couple of them, because like it happens in any other state, there are certain sections which might be heavily voting for a party, but then Mr. Modi, by dint of his performance, I think he's been able to garner majority support from across various castes.
Okay, what I want to do now is go across to the United States. Joining us from Washington at this time is Yashwant Deshmukh, the lead pollster for C Voter. His team has gone out and brought these numbers, and we've also got the numbers being crunched into bullet points, which are the key takeaways from this opinion poll. Yashwant, as we play the figures out, there are two ways of looking at it. One, Narendra Modi is winning, but he's not winning with the sort of landslide majority that he's been talking about. Was that just bravado and bluster? Would Narendra Modi be happy with such a performance? And why is it that his tally is actually coming down 3 seats, not going up in the way the BJP would have wanted?
Well, historically speaking, it would be absolutely even expect or anticipate that after 3 rounds of victories, anybody can still maintain the tempo and manage to increase the number. So that is, of course, not the possibility nor the probability as such. But the big thing is that he is going to win back. I mean, he's looking like he's winning back, and the margin is huge. You see, in polling business, in opinion polls and everywhere, whenever the margins are closer, whenever the margins are somewhere between the gap of 2 or 3%, we always say that the fight is tough or the fight is very close. But in this case, the margin between the BJP and the Congress votes is still hovering roughly around 10%. That is huge gap. Congress is nowhere near the BJP vote bank. And for Modi to even repeat it after 3 mandates, and for the BJP this is going to be a 4th or 5th mandate in a row, that is quite an achievement. Quite an achievement, I would say. And the numbers which we talk about, that numbers are going down, they are not really going down in that way, Rahul, because they are kind of indirect gains because of Keshubhai's party's presence over there in certain pockets in Saurashtra and some areas even in the North Gujarat, but they are limited. And probably because of that, and also because of the fact that majority of the MLAs, they actually build up a lot of anti-incumbency at the micro level against them. And there is only to some extent that the Chief Minister can actually negate that anti-incumbency at the micro level with his own image of performance. So, in all...
Yashwant, let's just play out, what your team has crunched as the key takeaways from this opinion poll. Modi remains massively larger than life in Gujarat. He's got very high popularity ratings, in fact higher than most leaders in their states. The fact that the next two leaders in this state happen to be ex-RSS, ex-BJP leaders seems to indicate a grave leadership crisis in Gujarat, where there's no one leader to take on the might of Narendra Modi. While the ratings for the CM are high, the ratings for the MLAs are not so good. This creates a scenario where it becomes a presidential form of contest, where you've got Narendra Modi against an undeclared opponent, but it's essentially the Modi that people are either voting for or voting against. There's nothing else to really choose from. It's not the MLAs who've got high ratings.
That's very true.
It's the development and governance agenda which is working well for the BJP. And the credit is being taken by Narendra Modi, and it's credit that's being shared by at least the respondents that Yashwant and his team was speaking to. The Keshubhai split is not really impacting the BJP in the way that Keshubhai Patel would have liked. Could be because he's sold, could be because he's not seen as a potent active force any longer, but Keshubhai Patel not damaging the BJP in the way. But a lot of the people who were polled actually felt, and this is interesting, that Keshubhai Patel could impact the BJP vote. They didn't change their preference, but they felt it could change the preference of others. That's interesting. In practical terms, though, it seems that the Keshubhai Patel factor will not matter so much. Congress is not even winning by default, as a majority of the Congress MLAs are unpopular, which gives the BJP the opportunity to recover. The Congress, in fact, is dormant on the ground. It doesn't really have a big face of leader who can take on Narendra Modi. And the next point is very important. The Patel lobby not behind Keshubhai, as you would imagine. Modi has been trying very hard to work with the Lehua Patel voters and prevent them from going Keshubhai Patel's way, which seems to be succeeding. The central government is hugely unpopular. This helps the BJP counter anti-incumbency, because they see what the center is doing, they see what the UPA has achieved, and they don't like that. And interestingly, the satisfaction ratings for Modi are higher in Saurashtra than in central Gujarat, which is contrary to what Keshubhai Patel would have expected. I want to go across to Yashwant Deshmukh on the Keshubhai Patel factor. He's the patriarch of the party in the state of Gujarat. Despite him officially breaking away, he's not really impacting the party's performance. Why is that?
It is simply because the party organization in Gujarat at large has been quite intact. Gujarat has been one of the states where the BJP has been strong because of the network that the RSS wielded over there, or the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh wielded over there. So that grassroots network still remains. The big problem is that the supporters of the BJP see through the agenda. They see through it that, okay, if you are forming a party that is primarily not to be put up as an alternative, but primarily to defeat the BJP or in order to support the Congress. So that is where the things go wrong for Keshubhai Patel. He might expect some support among the Lehua Patels and few of the seats over there. He might even expect support from certain lobby of the RSS people over there who are anti-Modi at the moment. But people at large, those who are anti-Congress, those who are against the Congress, they see through it and they are not going to support him. And remind you, Rahul, that the Keshubhai Patel factor was very much in play even in the last election. The only difference is that this time he has openly come out and formed a party. But otherwise, even in the last election, the Maha-Gujarat party was there. In the last election, the dissidents was there. In the last election, entire Keshubhai Patel camp was working against Narendra Modi even at that point of time. So practically speaking, people at large might feel, and they say that, well, it is something which might damage the BJP. In our opinion poll, it has come out. But in practical terms, Keshubhai Patel is unable to yield more than 3 or 4% of votes. And if you analyze the swings, Rahul, you will realize that these 3-4% votes, angry BJP votes, might have probably gone to the Congress, then the BJP would have got more damage. But he is more playing like Manpreet Badal in Punjab, where he ate up the anti-Akali votes. He prevented them going to the Congress, and eventually Akalis came back. So Keshubhai Patel's factor is eventually, in practical terms, only he's only going to end up.
That's a very
helping
interesting
BJP
point you
in
make. I
that.
want to bring our other panelists into this discussion on the issue of Keshubhai Patel. We're hearing Yashwant make the point that this actually helps Narendra Modi because he does what Manpreet Badal did for the Akalis. Do you agree with that? Why is it that Keshubhai Patel, everybody thinks, even these people think that he will impact the BJP, but the numbers don't indicate that?
Well, I have a slightly different view of the BJP's performance in Gujarat from most people, and I speak here as a Gujarati rather than the political analyst. Gujaratis are very proud people. We are very proud of our role in the freedom struggle. The reason India became independent was because of a Gujarati Mahatma Gandhi. The reason it was united was because of a Gujarati Sardar Patel. And even when we came out of the emergency, the man who brought us out was a Gujarati Morarji Desai. But that's all history. If you look at contemporary Indian politics in the last 20, 30 years, it's very hard to think of a single Gujarati leader at the national level of any significance. Gujaratis believed, rightly or wrongly, that Indira Gandhi didn't like Gujaratis. So she had virtually no Gujaratis in her top team. If you go on ahead, the only Gujarati leader of any significance you can think of in the last 20 years is Madhav Singh Solanki. You look at the BJP, where the Gujarati has been the most loyal BJP voter. There's been a BJP government in power for 15, 18 years. Where are the Gujaratis in the BJP at the national level? There are virtually no Gujaratis anywhere. So Gujaratis feel politically orphaned. They look for somebody who can emerge as a national leader, who can show everyone that I am the tops, I represent Gujarat. Modi is the first leader to tap into that. Which is why when you look at Modi and people see it through this whole Hindu-Muslim prism, which is valid but is also a red herring. Essentially, Modi is a regional leader in the way that Jayalalitha is a regional leader, in the way that Mamta is a regional leader. Every speech always has references to how many crore Gujaratis he represents, to Gujarati pride. He appeals to the Gujarati because he tells us that we matter at a national level. Keshubhai, on the other hand, is yesterday's man. This guy doesn't count for anything. He appeals to nobody's pride.
And that's very interesting, GVL. The fact that Keshubhai Patel is not damaging, the perception is that he would damage the BJP. In effect, he's not. Is that because he's not seen as an active force anymore? Even if people vote for him, they think their vote might get wasted.
You see, I think we sometimes we tend to overstate the importance of caste in our elections. I think in the recent past we have seen many elections where the performance and delivery have become the predominant factors rather than the caste. And I think, as was pointed out, Mr. Keshubhai Patel, he is forgotten by the people of Gujarat, and they think Keshubhai Patel is a very bad chapter in Gujarat's political history. And people have absolutely no fond memories of, in fact, if they have any memories, these are, I think, quite bad memories of the Gujarat being governed by Keshubhai Patel. And Modi, over the last 11 years, has given them a sense of identity. I certainly agree with that. Also, he's given them solid governance. And people today are simply not willing to go back to, willing to be thrown back into the days of either Keshubhai Patel or the Congress regimes which have completely malgoverned the past. And the interesting thing why Modi would do even better than what your poll suggests is that people are able to see a very sharp contrast in the performance of the government that he heads in the state and the Congress-headed government at the center.
Okay.
And this contrast, in fact, it kind of it further emphasizes, it further increases the appeal of Narendra Modi and his governance in Gujarat.
Dr. Sanjay Kumar, why is the Congress not picking up more votes? Do you think the Keshubhai Patel factor is actually damaging the Congress, as Yashwant Deshmukh suggests?
Rahul, if we just keep aside the issue of Keshubhai Patel, and I tell you one fact. See, BJP is very, very strong in Gujarat, and they have won 4 assembly elections in a row. And just to cite a fact that there are 58 assembly constituencies in Gujarat which BJP has won 4 times in a row. And if you look at the vote percentages BJP have polled in all these 58 constituencies, while the gap between BJP and Congress at the state level is about 10%. But in these 58 constituencies where BJP has never lost any elections during last 4 assembly elections, the gap between Congress and BJP is about 25%. So BJP has a very solid ground in Gujarat, and even if Keshubhai Patel moves out, he has already moved out of BJP, floated his new party. he can manage to get about say 3-4% votes, but that won't be enough to make a big dent in the BJP support base.
You're watching the results of the C Voter opinion poll for Gujarat. This is the first opinion poll conducted for the assembly elections of Gujarat. This is what the poll is projecting. The BJP, which picked up 117 seats, the Congress 59, the NCP 3, others 3. These are the actual figures from the last assembly elections. Let's take a look at what the poll is projecting. Of the 182 assembly seats in Gujarat, the C Voter opinion poll projects that the BJP will pick up 114, the Congress will pick up 63, the GPP will pick up 2 and others 3, which essentially means that the BJP's tally is actually coming down by 3 seats, the Congress's tally going up by 4 seats. Narendra Modi seems set to return to power for the third time. Will this help him move from Ahmedabad to New Delhi? We'll focus on that. But before we do so, let's get you excerpts from an interview with Narendra Modi as he drives through Gujarat in his election rath. He speaks about the work that he's done, reaching out, winning the trust of the people of the state, and constantly targeting only Sonia Gandhi and the Prime Minister. He's positioning himself in a manner that he's not compared to any leader in Gujarat. He wants to target only the Congress's central leadership. Here is Narendra Modi in conversation.
लंबा समय आपने गुजरात में गुजार लिया है चीफ मिनिस्टर बनके, अब किन मुद्दों पे चुनाव होने जा रहा है?
जो लोग गुजरात को जानते हैं उनको भली भांति पता है कि गुजरात सरकार चलती है सिर्फ डेवलपमेंट के एजेंडा को लेकर के। गुजरात का जन सामान्य भी जुड़ गया है डेवलपमेंट के एजेंडा के साथ। हम 2002 का चुनाव लड़े थे, वो भी विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़े थे। 2007 का चुनाव लड़े थे, वह भी विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़े थे। और 2012 का चुनाव लड़ेंगे, वो भी हम विकास के मुद्दे पर ही लड़ेंगे।
एक और सवाल मुझसे ये पूछा जा रहा था कि क्यों ऐसा है कि नरेंद्र मोदी देश में कितने प्रिय नेता के तौर पे उभरे, क्या लगता है?
मैं एएनआई का आभारी हूं कि उन्होंने मेरे संबंध में ये अच्छी टिप्पणी की। अगर मैं देश के नागरिकों को प्रिय लगता हूं, ये मेरा सौभाग्य है। मैं देश की जनता के चरणों में वंदन करता हूं कि उन्होंने मुझे उनका प्रिय होने का ये अधिकार दिया।
आपके साथ अच्छे काम का नाम तो हमेशा जुड़ता ही रहा है, लेकिन शुरू से कंट्रोवर्सी का भी आपके साथ सोने दामन का साथ रहा है। हमेशा विपक्ष और जो है कांग्रेस है वो आप पे हमला करते रहते हैं। कांग्रेस की जो भी लेटेस्ट कंट्रोवर्सी चल रही है, जो आपने सोनिया गांधी जी के बारे में कहा, जिस खर्चे का जिक्र किया, उसके अंदर ये साफ तौर पे कांग्रेस ने जो आप पे हमला बोला है, उसके बारे में आपका क्या कहना है? क्योंकि एडिटर ने और जिसने आरटीआई एक्टिविस्ट ने, उन दोनों ने ही कहा है कि हमने ऐसी कोई आपस कोई सबूत नहीं है इस चीज का।
देखिए, मैंने जो विषय उठाया है वो जुलाई महीने में आउटलुक में, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में, इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स में, यानी करीब करीब देश के सभी अखबारों में ये विषय छप चुका है और ये पीटीआई की खबर से है। और उसमें चीफ इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर ने प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय को डांटते हुए कहा है कि आप सोनिया जी के विदेश दौरे के संबंध में देश को जानकारी दें। दूसरा विषय है, आरटीआई जो वर्कर है उसने भी मीडिया को यही कहा है कि मैं 3 साल से मांग रहा हूं लेकिन मुझे जानकारी नहीं दी जा रही है। और मेरा भी यही कहना है कि अगर अखबारों में 1880 करोड़ की खबर आती है तो ये देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं लगता है। अगर भारत सरकार एक बार सही जानकारी देश को दे दें तो ये गलत जानकारियां भी नहीं फैलेगी, अफवाहें नहीं फैलेंगी, मैडम सोनिया जी की प्रतिष्ठा का नुकसान भी नहीं होगा और भारत सरकार की भी इज्जत बढ़ेगी। और अच्छा ये होगा कि वो जानकारी दे दें। मुझे समझ नहीं आता है कि जानकारी छुपाई क्यों जा रही है। दूसरा विषय है उनके स्वास्थ्य के संबंध में। इस देश में किसी भी व्यक्ति ने उनके स्वास्थ्य के खर्चे को लेकर के कभी कोई सवाल उठाया नहीं, और ऐसा कहना और करना ये भारत का अपमान है। भारत उदारवादी है, भारत मानवतावादी है, और हम विपक्ष में होने के बाद भी मैं प्रधानमंत्री से आग्रह करता हूं कि भारत ने मैडम सोनिया जी की हेल्थ की चिंता करनी चाहिए, उनके बीमारी में इलाज की पूरी चिंता करनी चाहिए, उनको कभी भी कमी महसूस नहीं होने देनी चाहिए। भारत के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री की श्रीमती जी हैं, उनका पूरा हक बनता है कि ये देश बीमारी के समय उनके पास खड़ा रहे, और हमें खड़ा रहना चाहिए, मानवता का काम है।
प्रिंसिपल ने आप पे कमेंट करते हुए कहा कि नरेंद्र मोदी का नाम नरेंद्र विरोधी होना चाहिए। आकाश टैबलेट का जो ये मसला चल रहा है, ये एक्चुअली है?
देखिए, 2009 और 10 में भारत सरकार ने, और जिसके मंत्री श्रीमान कपिल सिब्बल जी हैं, उन्होंने देश के नौजवानों को वचन दिया था कि मैं आपको बहुत ही सस्ते में 10 लाख युवकों को आकाश टैबलेट दूंगा। आज 3 साल के बाद मैंने सवाल उठाया कि भाई आकाश धरती पर नहीं उतरा है, तो उनको पर्सनली बुरा लग गया, तो उन्होंने मुझे आकाश टैबलेट भेजने के लिए फैसला किया। अब मुझे रिश्वत देने से कोई मोदी चुप होने वाला नहीं है। आप मेरा मुंह बंद करने के लिए मुझे आकाश टैबलेट भेज दे, इससे काम नहीं होगा। और दूसरा, आपको जनता के पैसों का इस प्रकार से दुर्व्यय करने का अधिकार भी नहीं है। योजना नौजवानों के लिए है, इस देश के नौजवानों ने जिन्होंने एप्लीकेशन किया है उनके लिए है, तो उनका छीन करके आप किसी मुख्यमंत्री को आकाश टैबलेट कैसे दे सकते हो? ये कोयले भी दे देते हो लोगों को, उसी प्रकार से आप टैबलेट भी बांट रहे हो। हमारा आग्रह है कि जिन 10 लाख लोगों का आपने वादा किया था, उस वादे का क्या हुआ, जवाब दो। बाद में 2011 में उन्होंने कहा नहीं हम 10 लाख नहीं देंगे, 1 लाख देंगे। अच्छा चलो भाई, 1 लाख का क्या हुआ, उसका जवाब दो ना। मोदी को टैबलेट दिया या न दिया, इससे आपका 1 लाख लोगों को या 10 लाख लोगों को टैबलेट देने का जो वादा था, वो वादा पूरा नहीं हुआ है। इस बात को आप छुपा नहीं सकते हो। आप अपने काम में विफल गए हो, इसलिए लोगों का ध्यान बटोरने के लिए मोदी पर आकाश टैबलेट भेज देना, ये गिमिक है, ये शोभा नहीं देता है।
Narendra Modi there targeting the Congress leadership. He's making this more and more presidential. We'll talk about the remaining questions in the Sea Voter opinion poll. I want to introduce once again all our guests. Veer Sanghvi is with us. We've got Dr. Sanjay Kumar. We've also got GVL Narasimha Rao from the BJP. With us from Washington at this time is Yashwant Deshmukh. Let's take up some of the other questions that Yashwant and his team asked voters. I'll take the first one. How do people in Gujarat view Narendra Modi's track record when it comes to development? 69% of the people feel that Gujarat is better off thanks to the work that Narendra Modi has done. 11 feel that Gujarat has slowed down. 9% people feel that Gujarat is already a fully developed state. 6% feel that Gujarat hasn't really changed much under Narendra Modi. Let's take the next question. Has the opposition by senior BJP leaders impacted the BJP's performance? This question is about, most importantly, Keshubhai Patel and all the other detractors who come from within the BJP. 48% say yes, they feel that because of Keshubhai Patel, Suresh Mehta and the others, the BJP's performance will get impacted. 39% feel no, can't say is about 13%. The next question on who people want to see as the next chief minister, and here there is only one winner, and it's a tearaway winner with Narendra Modi at 68%, Keshubhai at only 5%, Shankar Singh Waghela at 2%, Arjun Modwadia, who was with Sonia Gandhi, coming in at 1%. Let's take these questions with our panelists. It's very clear that there's massive support that Narendra Modi enjoys from within Gujarat, and it's interesting also how in that figure people feel that Keshubhai Patel might impact, but on the ground he's not doing so.
Well, I think there is no doubt that he is the predominant leader to emerge from Gujarat in the last 20 years. And I think that is pretty much his electoral strategy. He portrays himself as being the great Gujarati strongman. When you look at the Congress, I mean, most people would have difficulty naming 5 Gujarat leaders from in the Congress party. He portrays the Congress as being a party of Lilliputians, little guys, all of them enthralled to a person of foreign origin, which is why he goes on and on about how much Sonia Gandhi spent traveling abroad. I mean, it's a carefully calibrated strategy. He's not really talking about a health. He just wants to keep emphasizing the foreign connection. He called Rahul Gandhi an international leader. He talks about Sonia as being an Italian. So that's generally the theme he'll go on and on about. I am your leader. I am a Gujarati. These guys are nothing. They're all enthralled to an Italian. It's a very primitive and bigoted technique, but it seems to be working.
Okay, let's also take up some other questions. You know, we asked people what was their reason for supporting the BJP. 53% of the respondents felt it was the work being done by Narendra Modi. 15% said it's the BJP leadership. 7% because they were supporters of Hindutva, and the core BJP supporter was 2. So 53% of those polled felt that it's Modi's work that's making them support the BJP. Now the tricky question of the riots and whether they would be a factor in the Gujarat Assembly elections. Amongst the BJP voters, 31% felt that the Godhra riots are still a factor. Amongst Congress voters, interestingly, the figure is lesser. 23% feel that Godhra riots are a factor, whereas if you look at the other people, no is about 27 and can't say at about 19. So it's actually BJP voters who feel, Yashwant, that the Godhra riots are a factor, but how do you assess the impact of Godhra? Do you think the people of Gujarat have moved beyond Godhra and Godhra is not a factor at all in this election?
I feel that Gujarat has moved on. Unfortunately, the rest of the India hasn't moved on with Godhra riots. Gujarat, even if you look out at the overall data, either the pro-BJP or the anti-BJP, it's hardly 1 in 3 voters which is still struck with that kind of voting combination, feeling sensitive about Gujarat, either in supporting BJP or in opposing the BJP. But the rest of them, majority of them have actually moved on. They are talking about the issues of governance, issues of business, day-to-day life, and everything that can come along with the issues of governance, but not Godhra at large. But having said that, I would, as a pollster, I would like to remind people that, there is always a spiral of silence. There is always a set of people who would rather not comment on certain things, especially the sensitive things, including the communal riots, pro or against. But that does not mean that the spiral of silence is only working against or might work against Modi. The spiral of silence, by and large, has been working for Modi in the last 4 elections, as we have seen.
That's an interesting point you make, Veer, because we've seen with strong personalities, when there is, say, a Jayalalitha, the CPM in Bengal, people sometimes are wary of actually revealing their voting preferences, because there's a very strong Congress theory that there's an underpinning of an anti-incumbency wave. Do you think that could be the case? Do you think these numbers could go off?
I somehow feel that the chances of spiral of silence working in favor of Modi is higher.
You're saying it's higher, Veer Sangha.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting. You can't really say that Gujarat has moved beyond Godhra when a third of BJP voters say that Godhra is still a factor. You're saying that they're voting for him despite Godhra. I'm saying maybe people are voting for him because of Godhra.
That's very interesting. I want to shift our attention to the one question which is critical to Narendra Modi's fortunes from here on. Will a result where he picks up about 114 seats out of 182 help him fulfill his national ambitions? If the end results, Veer, turn out to be the way this poll is projecting, will that help Narendra Modi make it to Delhi?
I think Rahul, Narendra Modi has about 2 or 3 problems. Problem 1 is, while nobody disputes that he is the predominant leader in Gujarat, it is not clear that this popularity translates at a national level. It may not. So far the evidence is mixed. Mamata Banerjee is the most popular leader of Bengal. That does not mean she can be a national leader. Jayalalitha is the most popular leader of Tamil Nadu. That does not mean she can be a national leader. Perhaps Modi can, perhaps Modi can't. We don't know yet. The second thing is, within the BJP, I don't think there's that much support for Modi at the top level. There are enough candidates. And thirdly, if you are going to have a BJP government or an NDA government, it has to be a government built around a coalition. As your poster said, India hasn't moved beyond Godhra. I think people will remember the riots. I think there will be a real reluctance to accept Modi as a Prime Minister. Nitish will not come. Mamata will not come. I doubt if Naveen Patnaik will come. The difficulty the BJP has is with a divisive figure like Modi at the head of a coalition, you just don't get the numbers.
GVL, Modi can pick up 182 seats out of 182, but that won't make it any easier to win over the naysayers like a Mamata Banerjee, a Nitish Kumar, Mulayam, Mayawati. They'll never come in support. So Modi can, you can pump the chest up. The BJP can get excited. The cadre can get aggressive, but that doesn't help the BJP come to power in Delhi.
But you see, I think you are not being fair to Mr. Modi when you say he is very popular in Gujarat but not outside, because that's not borne out by facts. Because all the opinion polls undertaken in the last year or so, including the one by India Today and Headlines Today, they all show that he is the most popular prime ministerial candidate or chosen by the people of the country. And his popularity rating today exceeds that of Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Manmohan Singh by a wide margin.
No, we know that.
So obviously it's not happening because all Gujaratis are supporting Narendra Modi. He gets a big rating across the country, including southern states where BJP has a much less presence except Karnataka. That's number one. Number two is, even in 1996, when Mr. Vajpayee was the prime ministerial candidate of the BJP, there were not many people, there were not many allies to back the BJP. But come 1999, 1998, a large number of flocked to the BJP. The BJP's ability to attract allies depends on its own ability to cross a particular threshold level. So in my opinion, if
that's
Modi,
what the BJP is banking
if
on.
The BJP is able to cross 170 or 180 seats with Modi at the helm, I think he would find a large number of allies coming to join the BJP. That's the way I look at it. But who will be the BJP's leader is a decision that the parliamentary board of the BJP will take, and all these factors will certainly play
give me a moment,
on the minds of the top leadership.
LK Advani, and he said the same thing. There are 140. When the BJP was at 140, we were untouchable. Nobody wanted to come close to us. The moment we got 180, Vajpayee ji suddenly wasn't untouchable, and we had 18 to 23 coalition partners. Will the same happen with Narendra Modi if he takes the BJP to 180?
If the BJP gets to 180, yes, it's a different situation from 140 as we saw in the Vajpayee case. But will it get to 180, 185? I haven't seen that many polls suggesting it's going to get to that figure. Secondly, if Modi is, as Mr. Narasimha Rao says, clearly the most popular leader in the country, ahead of everybody else, there's an obvious question. He's here representing the BJP, so I'll ask him that. Just declare him as your prime ministerial candidate. Yeah? He's so popular. Why are you shying away from it?
No, I think it's for the parliamentary party to decide. I'm only presenting my own perspective as an analyst. I'm presenting this, but obviously the parliamentary party will take a decision, and I'm sure all these factors will heavily weigh on the minds of the top leadership of the party.
Let's get Sanjay Kumar to do some number crunching, because this is where the numbers kick in. If Narendra Modi were to be projected as the BJP's prime ministerial face, he will rally the BJP cadre, he'll push up the BJP tally, but he'll also scare away potential allies. Given the current situation, given all the data you see, not just this poll, do you think he can be the prime minister on the back of the opinion poll results we've seen today?
Very, very difficult. I would agree with what Veer has already mentioned, that as soon as BJP portrays Modi as the prime ministerial candidate, first challenge is to put their house together. There would be divisions within BJP, there would be oppositions within BJP, and when it comes to attracting your allies, all these allies which we already mentioned, even like people like Mamata Banerjee won't come with BJP, people like Naveen Patnaik in Odisha, he may not come with. So there are various allies which are right now with BJP, but I would suspect that all these allies which move away from NDA, and then NDA would be just BJP plus one or two party. Very, very difficult for Modi to be seen as someone who would be the prime minister, even if BJP does relatively well, 150, 160 seats in 2014 Lok Sabha election.
Let me get Yashwant Deshmukh in on this, because this is the one question that exercises analysts most, Yashwant. If Narendra Modi were to be projected as the BJP's prime ministerial face on the back of your opinion poll results, will that help the BJP net, or will it actually leave the BJP worse off?
No, I think, Rahul, the question is not if the BJP supporters are ready for Modi. They are more than ready at the moment, probably. It's more or less like the vacuum of leadership which we had seen in the early 90s, right after assassination of Rajiv Gandhi ji. And that vacuum had actually pulled in a person like Vajpayee to become a larger than life figure. I believe that there is again a vacuum of leadership over there. BJP voters, BJP supporters are more than ready or willing to opt for Modi. The problem is not that. The problem is the existing leadership, the existing central leadership of the BJP, and there are so many of them over there. They don't like, or they might not appreciate Modi coming or bullying the way all the way from Ahmedabad to New Delhi. But unfortunately for them, I believe that if Modi wins, as our opinion poll shows, the way he is leading in Gujarat, I believe that it's impossible for the current set of the BJP central leaders to stop Modi to come to center.
That's an important point you make. Let me put that same question to Veer Sanghvi, because circumstances have their own momentum. You know, if he comes on the back of a third-time victory, there is a certain push he gets from the ground where the BJP cadre wants to propel him up, and then others, like the Arun Jaitlis of the world, the Sushma Swarajas, who might not be comfortable with Modi coming in, will they then simply have to stand away and not be able to resist this force?
Well, it's very hard, Rahul, to predict events. Yes, I concede that. That's certainly a possibility. But I think the point your pollster is making is an accurate one, that essentially Modi is the choice of the BJP cadres. He's the choice of the hardcore BJP members. What's not clear is he the choice of the undecided, uncommitted voter who now has to come over to the BJP for it to get those numbers? Many people, the economists most recently, have drawn a parallel with Barry Goldwater, who fought against Lyndon Johnson in the presidential election in America in the 1960s. Goldwater was the choice of the Republican right. The actual voter was never as enthusiastic about him as the cadre person was. I suspect Modi may be falling into that trap. The Goldwater slogan was, "In your heart, you know he's right." And the riposte to that, and the riposte that ultimately worked, was, "But in your guts, you know he's nuts."
In your guts, you know he's nuts. That's very, very interesting, because you know what people are hoping, Narendra Modi fans are hoping, Mr. Sanghvi, is that as Narendra Modi does better and better on the ground in Gujarat, and as the Congress government at the center continues to languish, they will be able to swing the undecided voter. The fact that there is such a bad sense of governance, things are paralyzed, not moving, so much corruption, do you think that will just push to the side what happened in Godhra in the minds of at least a certain percentage of voters?
Not in the minds of Muslims, I fear. I was talking to a Congress party leader, and he was saying how bad things were for them and how badly they would do in the election. And he said, "We have only one chance." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "If Narendra Modi is BJP's prime minister candidate." And I said, "Are you nuts? How will that help you?" He said, "That will consolidate Muslim vote behind the Congress, and then we're okay."
GVL, that's a very real fear. 19-20% of the vote coming. That's the strongest anti-incumbency booster dose for the Congress. This 20% stays with us no matter what. And also all the liberals, the secular liberals who don't like Modi, would also then not back the BJP. So that's one big chunk of voters that the Congress has even before the race begins.
Congress seems to be living in a illusionary kind of world. I think they are most welcome to believe whatever fantasies they want to believe in, but if there is one leader that they are really scared of today, and that you can make out from the way they are running away from the battle in Gujarat, is Narendra Modi. I think he's simply somebody who makes them who makes them lose their sleep. So I don't
think they're running away, and that's interesting because we've just seen Sonia Gandhi come the first time. Rahul Gandhi hasn't yet even been to Gujarat. He's far away in Kashmir. Does that betray a sense of not wanting to get into the Modi trap, that they're not there like they were in Uttar Pradesh fighting up in front? They're actually fighting this battle from the sidelines.
I think Modi is hoping to use this election to emerge as the Prime Minister candidate. As you pointed out, that's why he keeps referring directly to Sonia Gandhi, to the Prime Minister, to national leaders. They feel that if they were to answer him, to fight the battle in that arena, they would be doing him a favor. So I think they're pretty certain that they're not going to do him any favors, not act as though he's their equal, or treat it as a national election.
Okay, before I conclude, I want very quick final comments from Sanjay Kumar first on whether things can change. This is in the month of September that this poll has happened. The actual voting is in December. What could change and in what way?
Actually, Rahul, this is what we needed to discuss, that The poll was conducted in the first week of October. We know that this is the situation. The poll suggests that this is the situation right now at the ground. Things might change because it's 2 months before elections will be conducted. So things would definitely change. Campaign might change. The things in Gujarat, candidate selection, defections within the party, defections, unhappiness of the candidates and unhappiness of people who don't get the ticket. These all things would make a difference. Might make a difference in how things would shape up. But finally, I don't think, Rahul, that the results are going to change. The results would be more or less the same. BJP is almost set to get another victory in Gujarat.
One final comment from Yashwant Deshmukh as well. Could things change between now and voting day?
Unlikely, Rahul, unless something really disastrous or something really big happens somewhere and it has an impact. Because a 10% point lead is not something you tend to see it every other election, and 10% point is not something which you are likely to see to be reversed in a gap of 60 days.
All right, you're saying that this gap is too wide to be reversed. This is the first opinion poll emerging from Gujarat since the time elections were announced. It's predicting a third-time victory for Narendra Modi. Will this be enough to propel his national ambitions? We'll track this fascinating contest very closely. To all my guests, Veer Sangvi, GVL Narasimha Rao, Dr. Sanjay Kumar for joining us, and Yashwant Deshmukh and his team for putting this poll together. Thank you very much.